All right. Welcome back to the Twist Takes podcast. We are here for number 8. We are racking them up, boys, staying consistent. I'm here wearing my new
Consistency.
Kelly Oubre, soon to be basketball champions, college basketball, Kansas, from Bobby Shmurda himself. Shout out Bobby Shmurda for the jersey. Payne, how was your week?
Good. Hit another golf bet. So
Oh yeah.
I'm two for my last two on predicting the winners of the PGA Open events. So or PGA Tour
So
event.
on like for the past 2 weeks, like it's still amazing that you've gotten two, but how many bets have you started off with? Like how many guys, like is it like five or
Like five or six for
hmm.
each tournament. Like just guys I like. I throw $5 on it, and if any of them win, I'm obviously up exponentially. So
Yeah, you're way up. And also you gotta think like what is it usually it's at least a 75 person field, usually hitting like the 90s, hundreds. Like that's still all right. Can't wait for your pick later. Dante, how are we doing?
Good. I like Peyton. Also took Jake Knapp. I go a little bit of a different strategy. I like to see it through a little bit on Thursday. I'll usually place my bets on Thursday night. But yeah, the Kelly Oubre jersey looks good on you, but I can't say you radiate the same kind of sexual energy that the real Kelly Oubre might. But it's a good jersey for the collection.
I'm worried to wear it out in public. I'm worried like buses are gonna be like attracted to me. And we have to like play Frogger everywhere I walk. Ken Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Not too much action for me this week. Knew the Flyers would sell me once again, but you know,
Um, but you do have a decent bit of action tonight. It's about to start the match.
yes, the match will be rooting for some action there. Mr. Homa or Zhao. Zhao, I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
All right.
Just
So we
saying.
got a bunch of different sports to talk about once again. To start off our podcast, though, so me and Dante were hanging out this weekend. And Dante, I walked into Dante being berated. And I wanted to ask the same question to you two. So Dante was asked if he started working out right now and trying like as hard as he could from his current shape right now,
yes, I'll
can he
score
make the
20 points in
NHL?
the WNBA.
So I wanted to ask it to you, Peyton. Do you think right now, if you started working out consistently, like going crazy, you could make the NBA?
No,
You're a hater.
I can shoot, but I'm 5'11".
Yeah, well,
Uh,
yeah. According to
That's a
one guy,
crazy
according to
question.
one very
Literally
specific.
zero chance. What?
Thank
He
you,
could have,
thank
but he
you.
couldn't believe it.
This
Like I
guy,
walked in
this
there, I'm
guy
like,
kept telling me I don't believe in myself because I'm 23 years old and I'm not gonna give up, put my poor lovely girlfriend through some unrealistic trial and error to try to chase a dream that was lost when I was
There
14.
are people who never stop at all and don't
yeah.
even come close. Like
now, could I make the WNBA? Yes,
Like I'd
absolutely.
even say for like Dante, I think if he worked like crazy and just devoted his whole life, I think he could. There's got to be an ECHL team that he could try out for and maybe make.
ECHL
But
is different.
that's
Now,
what I'm
if
saying. Like he was like,
now,
oh,
now Ryan,
NHL, you can make that.
if you posed me a different question, that if I worked my ass off starting from today for 1 year, do I think I could maybe pitch out of a bullpen in like low A baseball? Maybe, but definitely not in the NBA because size and athleticism matters so much more in that league.
Yeah, because that's like the same thing. Like even like what Michael just said, like it's physical traits. You could literally be born bad spawn, and just you
Yeah.
can't make a professional league.
Now you can train to throw harder, but you can't train to be 6'5". You
Yeah,
know.
And that's my point. I'm 5'10", but when I played, I was like 155. I'm like 170 now because I don't work out as much. I I was a skill player. The coaches weren't My coaches weren't telling me, "Hey, buddy, go get dirty in the corner. Why don't you go throw your body around, get into some Rempe like fights on the ice like he's done for the Rangers." No, no, I was a pretty boy, and that's why I realized I wasn't doing that. That's not going to change. I could start today. That wouldn't change. That's just the way I am. So no, the answer absolutely not. I would not make it to the NHL. at this point, I'm so out of shape. If you gave me a year, I probably couldn't even make the ECHL.
This is
At
genuinely a
this
blasphemous question. I can't even believe that, Ryan, you even think there's a possibility
Well,
that.
I was just making sure we weren't crazy.
No, I
Like,
mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't make the bigs, but I think I could like
But like, was there a debate on this? Like
I
they
mean,
went
I
for an
so
hour.
think
let me
that they could do it
let
their
yeah no all right, let me explain. So we were there. We were at the beach house in Anna Maria Island this weekend, and this kid was there, and he was trying
who's
to
Beach
recruit
House?
me to be some like
Our friends.
salesman for roofing because I told him I was looking for a job. And he basically kept telling me, he was like, dude, like there were a lot of drinks involved. He was like, you could do whatever you set your mind to. And I was like, wow, this guy is awfully motivational. He's like, there's one thing in the world you've ever wanted to do. What is that? I was like, oh, I would have wanted to like play in the NHL, but that's just never gonna happen. And then yeah, it just started just going, dude, why don't you believe in yourself? And Ryan, after you left the room, he told me, why do you hang out with that negative ball of energy? I was like, come on, man. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like I just like props to him for having such a positive mindset. But I think there's a difference between having a positive mindset to getting to a professional league and having a positive mindset for like any other career that you want to get into.
I mean, I
Especially
could
this
see
guy's a roofer.
I could honestly see his argument if it's like baseball where there's like the major leagues, but then you have six divisions under it. Like in each organization, there's 30 organizations, and they probably have 450 players each. I mean, I don't know. I think when I was even not in shape playing club baseball, I was throwing like 86, 87. I could throw strikes. But I definitely would not make the bigs. I'm not throwing 97.
So this guy he's a roof salesman.
Well, he was. Now he's trying. I don't remember.
Was he a
Again, there were
motivational
drinks.
speaker?
I mean, I hope not because he's gonna get some angry phone calls from
Well, I
people who
guess
try
that's
to
my
do.
point. Is like, so what does he do now?
Again, like I said before, what he does now is he hangs out at a beach house in Anna Maria Island and gets belligerently drunk, like the rest of us did. To not certainly to not his fault. It was a very good time, but he didn't sleep the whole time. I think he might have been sleep deprived
What
because
what's the relation? Like, is this like the beach house owner's boyfriend or
That's
something?
no, it's again. I'm not gonna drop random names, but the
Well, I'm not
beach
talking about
house
name dropping
owners.
here. I just want to know,
No,
like,
no, I
what
I
the
know,
think
no,
guy
it's friend
does.
of a friend, right? Or
yeah, no,
friends. Oh, friend
brother
brother.
of a friend, brother of a friend. Yeah, so and he's like I don't know, like 26, I think, and it
And he
was
doesn't do anything. He doesn't work now.
Well, we don't know this man.
no,
Like,
yeah, like
Well, I
I
mean, it
said,
sounded like this
this
was like a whole deep conversation. I'm just trying to
well,
get
it was like,
context here.
it really was like I was up there for too long. I didn't really want to be as long as I was, but like it started out interesting and then it turned into that, and I was like I
I
was
guess
like
like
where
I
I was
need to.
going with
I
that is
walk
like, did
in,
he?
and Dante's like, "Do you think I could do this?" I was like, and also I'm gone, and I was like no, like there's like I'm sorry, Dante, but there's no way. Like, and then
Yeah.
so I talked for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, I'm done. Like I've eaten my food. I want to get back in the hot tub. So I walk out. They still go at it for maybe another 10, 20 minutes. He comes down. He's like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry." So like
I,
I don't know.
I'm just trying to fathom this man. Like,
I
did
mean, he's a
he?
normal looking dude who's like a normal, like cool guy to hang out with, like 95% of the weekend. It was like that 1 5% that I was like, all right, you need to like I don't know what kind of dream you missed out on that you're trying to like,
Well, that's
He
what I was
was
gonna
also
say.
he
Like, did that
was
guy wake up and want to be like a roof salesman? Like, I mean,
Well, no, because he was comparing it to like MMA fighters. 'Cause, like I remember him saying something about like, well, this guy just started and he got into fighting. But I feel like fighting's so much more different than like
Yeah,
other sports.
yeah.
Like I'm not saying I could get into fighting. I'd get my ass kicked every day. But if you are somewhat athletic, you can work your way to be a good fighter and like fight in some of those competitive ways. But
I mean, there's definitely guys who can pick something up and then be really good at it. I mean, I mean, look at like a lot of the players in the NFL that they get from like Australia and, you
Like the
know,
punters and stuff. Yeah, it's
yeah, and like the O lineman for the Eagles. I'm not even gonna try to butcher his last
Yeah,
name.
but the difference is these guys played rugby that has like a very comparable skill
right.
set. Like it's not like these punters
Right.
just started punting when they were 23. Like they were big rugby kickers and they translated that skill set into football. Me, I was never going to make the NHL to begin with,
yeah, it's not like
even
every
when I did
person
everything.
that's in professional sports is because they had like this God-driven drive to just play sports. I mean, look at Jokic.
Right.
Jokic, like he still doesn't want to be there, and he's still best in the league.
Yeah, he was like, "Hey, when's the parade?" And they're like, "Oh, why are you excited?" He's like, "No, I got to go home and see my horses."
All right.
Or like the
Well,
Interesting.
that was our question. All right, let's move on to our next segment where we have a fast food, I guess, kind of Mount Rushmore-esque uh, topic. So we've each
Dream order,
designed our
like a dream order.
okay dream team fast food. So we've all assembled our team of fast food. It could be we needed one drink, one entree, one side, and one dessert. All has to be from a fast food restaurant. Would anyone like to go first? Peyton's eager.
All right. With my drink here, I feel like none of my stuff is really like arguable. Like everything is pretty much S tier in my opinion. With my drink, give me old reliable McDonald's Sprite.
Mhm.
With my entree, keep it simple, Chick-fil-A nugs. Side, Wingstop fries with their ranch. Has to be with their ranch because everybody knows how good their ranch is. And for my
Yeah.
dessert, give me the M&M shake from Steak and Shake.
Yeah, that's all. That's all like if you put any of that stuff in front of me, I'm crushing it
Oh
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
spot.
I'm
It's just
slamming it. I'm slamming it.
I
So
would
I'm
just
not.
argue from Wingstop. I'm a Cajun fried Cajun corn kind of man.
Their corn's
That
good too,
ranch.
but their fries are just way too good for me to ever pass up.
the seasoning is just ridiculous. I never tasted anything like it. It is really good. And that is
Um,
second on my list. We'll get to that.
I always get the McDonald's Sprite because it is bussin'. But I think this is more like a personal problem. I think there's going to be one day where I die in a car accident because anytime I get a McDonald's Sprite, I can't stop hiccuping. Like it hurts my chest how bad I hiccup after it. Like I have
Oh
to like take my hand off the wheel and like grab my chest because like feel like my
no,
soul's in my
the
body.
first drink of McDonald's Sprite, if you're not ready for it, it will not.
I'm never ready for it. I am never.
It's spicy.
That's
All right,
fair.
Dante.
All right. My drink, I'm gonna start out with the Wendy's electric lemonade, the pineapple mango one. It's just hits every time. Side, I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna step away from fries. Everyone's gonna go with fries. Moe's chips and queso. Moe's chips and queso is my side. Just hits every time. It's why I go to Moe's. As good as some of their other menu items are, it's still the best. Um, Entree might be a little controversial, maybe, or not controversial in the sense it's not fast food, but Zaxby's Nibblers. So it was my first before I even liked Chick-fil-A. It was my first chicken love. Just so good. And dessert cookies and cream milkshake from Chick-fil-A.
I like the pull on the Wendy's there. I feel like it's a
I
unique
do
drink.
prefer their strawberry lemonade though.
Oh yes. Mm.
It's all good. I would take any of them.
Yes.
Pineapple mango is my personal favorite.
All right, Michael, what'd you cook up?
Okay, so for my drink, I went with vanilla Coke. Need a freestyle machine to do that. I know it's not like from a specific place, but the vanilla Coke from the freestyle machines, just I don't know. I'll always get that. I always get that. For my entree, I went with the Baconator. Just I mean, that's classic. It might be
Um,
stereotypical,
with
but it's
with or without the pretzel bun?
well, okay, so Okay, so I always get the pretzel bun, but it's not available year round.
Okay.
It's not available year round, so I left it off because I always get the baconator, but you can't always get the pretzel bun. So, um, no pretzel bun for my entree. For my side, I went with Zaxby's fries. I just love the seasoning. Top tier for me. And then for my dessert, I went with the Taco Bell cinnamon twists.
Oh, I thought
Just
you were going to say the Cinnabon Delights, and I was going to agree with you so hard, but
well, okay, I do love those. Those are good. But the cinnamon twists are nostalgic for me, so I always get those.
I'm just glad you didn't say McDonald's apple pie. Just never. No one should ever have that on there. If you have that on your list, reach out to me.
The
I'll get you
McDonald's
some
apple
help.
pie is good. I don't care what anyone says.
All right. For mine, my drink is gonna be the Baja Blast from Taco Bell. I mean, just a
the
goated.
frozen version,
No, I actually like the non-frozen more.
their frozen Baja Blast, that was the strawberry or the pink starburst. Oh man, that one was so good back in the day.
My entree, as you know, I like getting controversial a little bit. I'm gonna go with the Panera Bread. You get two things with the entrees at Panera, so I'm gonna go with the steak and white cheddar sandwich that comes with a Caesar salad.
Blasphemy.
It's just
Blasphemy
it's just
having
it's
that
Anything
over
from
it's
advertisement.
Panera Bread
overpriced.
being
It's
on this
good.
list, anything
It is
from
not
Panera Bread being on
overpriced.
this list besides their M&M cookies is a straight up L.
Nah, their
That's
muffin tops are good.
preposterous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I used to crush those. I'd go there to study, and I used to just
Mhm.
crush a muffin top and a strawberry banana smoothie.
I don't hate Panera Bread. I just think it's overpriced, and I
I
mean,
don't think it's that pricey.
it's
Like
overpriced. It's like
for
overpriced
me to get
hospital
that
food. I can't
order, it's the
lie.
same cost as any other fast food meal, really. A little over it, and I'm getting more.
Debatable.
My side is gonna be the Five Guy fries.
Yeah.
Just nothing better than grabbing them out of that greasy bag. And my dessert is gonna be the M&M McFlurry from McDonald's. It is just my go-to. The
My
only
only
real fast food dessert I get.
Yeah, my only argument there is it's not readily available because it's like they always say that the machine's not working, and then the McDonald's workers on TikTok are like, "Yeah, we just don't want to make it, so we just tell you that the machine's not working."
But I've never had that experience. I don't think I've ever gone to a McDonald's and they've said I can't get a McFlurry when I've
Oh,
asked for
dude, that happens all the time to me.
I personally, it's never happened to me either,
it.
Look,
despite
dude,
the
the
I
Gulf
memes.
Coast Town
personally
Center
never get
McDonald's,
McFlurries.
the Gulf Coast Town Center McDonald's never their ice cream machine is like hardly ever working.
And I guess I
The
never went
honorable
like at
mention.
like 2, 3 a.m. at the Gulf Coast McDonald's.
Michael and I used to slam those for one whole summer. That was like every night we were slamming those things.
Yeah, I got two McDonald's honorable mentions. If we had any breakfast involved, topping everything that I put on my list, the McGriddle, specifically the crispy chicken McGriddle, it hits every time. And if
Dude,
you
they're
get a
hot.
Shamrock Shake, add Oreos to it. Just adds a whole different element.
Now, Ryan, we should have added breakfast options because I would have either said chicken minis, which are obviously goaded, or the McDonald's hotcakes.
Yeah, we were just talking about this too, Dante. I actually do not like the chicken minis. I prefer the chicken biscuit that they have there. Too much bread
It's
for me on a
Wow.
chicken mini.
That's a hot take.
chicken minis. Chicken minis are the goat of bread. I might have said McGriddle over them in a heat of the moment thing, but
Something about the
if I
butter.
Dude,
oh, we know Michael loves the butter
And the
and the cheese.
cheese. Surprised you didn't go with the cheese curds from Culver's.
I
those are
can't
pretty.
believe that might be the biggest snub.
Culver's is kind of mid.
All right,
At least the
are we
ones in
ready to get into
Florida.
sports?
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'm hungry. I'm hungry, but I'm making chicken parm after this.
All
Laura
right,
and I are
let's start with
going to celebrate my decision.
Sorry.
college ball. Um, oh, Dante, you got something?
No, sorry. I missed what Peyton said.
I said Laura and I are going to Hibachi to celebrate the decision. Like I'm
Oh
LeBron.
yes, yeah. All right, LeBron, congrats.
All right, let's hop into college basketball. A few upsets this week. One thing, so I was kind of just looking because the rankings came out today, so I was scrolling through it. I saw Tennessee's now at 4. I don't hate it. They've been a sneaky team for me. I haven't been watching much of them. I've really been focusing on other SEC teams, really. But have you seen the gauntlet that they have to go through before the SEC tournament?
4 straight ranked teams, 2 at home, 2 on the road. It's gonna be brutal. If they go 3-1 in that, if they go 3-1 and then they end up making at least the conference final in the tournament, I think they're gonna earn their way to a 1 seed for sure.
Oh yeah.
'Cause I've even seen now some Jerry Palm who I try to limit my slander of personalities on this, but I don't like him or his brackets
Mhm.
ever. I feel like they're always just wrong. And like even compared, all right, he's got his Kentucky jersey on now, which is one of the teams that Tennessee has to play. But yeah, Jerry Palm, so he has North Carolina as a 1 seed. I don't see
Mhm.
it. I don't understand
Yeah.
how he can have them over Arizona, Marquette, and Tennessee. But
That's what I was just about to
that's
ask
just
because
me.
I don't know, like so obviously we have this top three right now are going to be their 1 seeds, barring anything crazy happening like Houston, Purdue, UConn. But that fourth one, I think like you said, if Tennessee goes 3-1, has a decent tournament, that they should be that fourth 1 seed. I like them more than Arizona. I like them more than Marquette.
Honestly,
UNC, I didn't
whoever
look at
wins
their
the
schedule.
SEC tournament.
Yeah, well, so my opinion on that is Arizona is going to have the easiest schedule to just run through. The
Mhm.
Pac-12 sucks. If they win out and they should, they'll probably be the fourth 1 seed.
Well, they have to still play their kryptonite probably.
Well, oh,
Wa-
Washington State.
Washington State.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I guess they've lost to them twice.
So then so let's say they go 2-2. So they have to play South Carolina and they have to play Auburn. If either one of those teams win, like if that's one of their losses, they'll probably have the 1 seed in the SEC tournament. I mean, is it that big of a much difference? No, but I mean, you get better seeding for your tournament. Um,
It
I don't know.
means
I feel like
something.
I like paying attention to the conference champions regular
They
season.
they don't matter at the high major level. The teams that are going to make the tournaments already determined before, barring a team like I don't know, Vanderbilt might make it somehow, but they really obviously clinch it by winning the conference tournament or playing well. But if it's a team like Tennessee or Kentucky or Florida, they don't care if they win the conference tournament. They could get bounced in the first round and they're making March Madness. So
No, but I think what we're saying is the gap between Tennessee, Marquette, Arizona, um, Kansas, and North Carolina is all so close for that last 1 seed right
Mhm.
now that these games might matter. If you completely shit the bed, you might be a 3 seed because Iowa
Mhm.
State's there too. That leaves 9 teams that have a realistic shot of maybe. I don't think Iowa State can get the 1 seed, but I think if they play well and Kansas or Marquette shit the bed, that one of those teams might drop to a 3.
well, I mean, if Iowa State wins the Big 12 tournament,
Yeah, if they win the Big 12 tournament though, and Tennessee doesn't win theirs, then I think they'll probably get it. But it's a lot.
Because also, so Houston has to play Kansas one more time. So I'm going to say another 1 seed. I don't hate Iowa State to get the 1 seed in the Big 12 championship.
I don't know
Because
if
they
they'll be able
haven't.
to pass Houston.
So yeah, you would need Houston to lose at Kansas, then I think you would need one more. I thought they had another tough road game left.
Let me
Um,
look. Cincinnati at home, at Oklahoma. I mean, at UCF. UCF beats everyone at home and loses
mhm.
to everyone on the road. I don't think they're going to beat Houston, but I think it's interesting that if that trend.
Okay, well, what about? I mean, Tennessee might not even be the highest team in the SEC.
You mean like it's seeding in March Madness,
Yeah,
or
seeding
like
wise, yeah.
do you think Alabama could pass them or Auburn?
I mean, they're what? They're sitting right behind them in the rankings.
and they have to play them.
And
Yeah.
Alabama just got 30 piece though.
Yeah, that game was
That
crazy.
game.
And
So I want to talk about my championship pick. I'm still rocking their jersey, the D Book, Devin Booker, Kentucky jersey. Dante and I were having this conversation in a large group chat before the game on Saturday, and he said if they hold Alabama under 80 points, he will start to believe. And I ended up texting him. There was like 2 minutes left in the game, and I said, I don't give a damn how many points you give up on defense. If you're scoring 115 points in a game, you're not losing. So,
but it matters in March. No team has ever won
These
the
teams run
national
out of
championship.
gas.
Yeah, no team's ever won it with a lower than like a 29 Ken Palm defensive efficiency. They're in like the 70s.
well,
They
you know
just
what? How many of those teams have had Reed Shepard?
I'm not even gonna
Yep.
I'm not even gonna respond to
That's
that.
the thing. And Rob
I will
Dillingham,
say,
and my guy Justin Edwards too.
I
Also,
mean, this sounds an
Kentucky,
awful lot. This sounds an awful lot like a one-seeded Duke team that didn't even make the Final Four that everyone said was a shoe-in for a championship.
Kentucky has had 3 games with every single scholarship player healthy, and they're finally all healthy now. That includes
I mean,
7-foot bigs.
and that's good. There's
Yeah.
just a lot of teams they need to be better than that. I just don't think they are.
Uh,
I think we started to see a little bit of variance last year. The fact that Miami reached the Final Four told me it's possible
and
for one of
FA.
these teams. Yeah, and FAU played decent defense last year, but
Yes, but did they
these
win?
no, they lost to San Diego State, who is a defensive powerhouse.
But that's what I'm
Just
saying.
like
Like I mean, to say that, oh, because it happened last year, I believe that now it's possible. I mean, how many times has there been a team like Kentucky to make the Final Four and then still not win? Like
I mean,
last
honestly,
year wasn't the
before
first time.
I'm trying to think of another one other than Miami that was like because I think Miami was crazy last year. I think they were like top 5 in offensive efficiency, and I think they were in the hundreds in defensive efficiency. I don't think there's ever been a team like that to make the Final Four before last year. Also, last year was just crazy. I think this year we would see a little bit of a little more normalcy in the tournament. I hope for my bracket.
Unless FGCU makes it again, then they are speed running all the way through the national championship.
Well, I'd love to see that. I do in saying that, I do like those teams to make some runs when they're like between the 7 and 10 seed line. So I do like teams like Florida and BYU. Um TCU could put up some points. Some of those Mountain West teams, I know the Mountain West doesn't historically do great in the tournament, but teams like that, if they get a good matchup, I think they can make a run. But they always seem to hit a wall on the second weekend that everything falls apart. So I think that might happen to Kentucky.
Let me do a bold prediction here. App State to the second weekend.
I'll give you a bolder one, or actually a way less bold one. App State doesn't even make the tournament.
Who do you think makes it from the Sun Belt?
James Madison.
App State's beat them both times.
That's fine.
Hard to
And
beat a
like,
It's hard
team
to beat
three
a good
times.
team
Times in a year.
thrice.
yeah, I would agree if they were beating them by like 3 points. I mean, they've beat them by double digits both times.
Well, they got to make it there first because I guarantee you they'll be the 1 and 2. And if
Yeah.
that's true, that means James Madison has
Like
only one
Troy.
other loss.
Troy could be up there too. Let me
Yeah,
see.
they're solid.
I'll pull up the standings.
Um, I really like. I'm starting to develop this weird fandom for St. Mary's. I think it's just because they were so unbelievably dog shit at the beginning of the year, and they've somehow worked their way up to rank 17. I don't. I think it's fascinating how they turned it around
Yeah,
because they were good.
Troy's 1 game behind JMU right now.
Okay. because St. Mary's was awful. They lost to Weber State. They lost by 17 to Xavier. They lost at home to Utah, who I know Utah is fine, but it was at home. I mean, they were not good. And then all of a sudden they beat Colorado State on the road and their whole season turned around.
I'm continuing to love Nebraska ball. I know. So a few weeks ago, I made my prediction that they'd be better than Wisconsin. I'm going to even make the prediction now that they're going to be ahead of Illinois.
Well, the
Because
problem is Wisconsin and Illinois play each other, so someone's going to have to win that game.
yeah, I guess so. And I'm hoping Wisconsin wins at home. But Nebraska finally got over the hump. They beat a team on the road.
Round of applause for Nebraska ball. I can maybe pick them in the first round now. I do like their team.
Did you all see that last night? Every single under in the NBA hit, and somebody in Florida bet $21 for every under to hit, and he won $26,727 last night.
If that's true, that's crazy. I feel like
Hard Rock-
sometimes
it's
they
on Hard
just
Rock's Instagram.
yeah, they could easily just create that, but I don't have a hard time believing that
Is there
someone
someone
did
out there
that.
every night putting $21 on every under?
I mean, maybe it's obviously pretty profitable.
What a hater.
All right, I
Who
have a
hates
question.
points?
I have a
let's hear
line
it.
for you guys, actually, if anyone wants to take any action on this.
I
Or
might.
not take any action on this. Over under the most losing team to make the tournament to have over or under 17 and a half losses. So the team with the most amount of losses to make the tournament.
I think there's
I think
so many.
Because there's going to be a small conference tournament winner that was absolutely dog shit. There's one every year.
17 and a half.
Or are you just meaning at large, like to get an at
No,
large?
no. If it was at large, the number would be way lower. It'll probably be Michigan State, honestly.
Dude, I don't know.
Over.
Still, yeah, give me the over.
Give me
Right.
the
Over strictly because of FGCU. Yeah, I'd have to look.
Yeah.
I'd have to look at some of the smaller conferences. I when you said it, I like the under. Because I was only thinking Michigan State, but
Okay, if the over hits and it's because of FGCU, FGCU is the only team that doesn't count because I want to be happy if they win it.
I mean, even if a team like, I don't know. Like I'm looking at these small divisions now, and there's quite a few teams that like have very subpar records, but I still think could win their conference tournament.
also I hate the
I
Ivy
mean,
League. Because I remember there was one day where like, oh, it's so easy to bet on the Ivy League. And then so I started looking at it. I started watching these people. And then Cornell loses at home to Brown. And like there's been so many more upsets now. I give up on the Ivy League.
yeah, welcome to the club. But
That would be the
really
one
jumping
conference I'd
the
be scared
gun.
of with that bet.
Really?
Brown has 19 losses.
Yeah, but I don't
Yeah, but
you would need Brown to be better than Princeton, Yale, and Cornell. Like one of those three is getting out of
but only 4 teams make the Ivy League tournament.
Still, like so it's gonna be those three. Like
Yeah,
I
those
think
three.
one of
two
those
games.
three will make it. Like
Is Brown
Brown gonna win?
fourth in the
Brown
Ivy
is
right
fourth.
now? Wow.
Because they have a good conference record, but their out of conference
Mhm.
record puts them back in 19 losses.
Yeah.
We don't need to put any
Yeah,
action on
I
it
think-
now. We can discuss in the group chat later, but
I have a question regarding the University of South Florida. Do we think they're an at-large right now if they don't win their conference tournament?
no.
No.
It's just that they're 21-5, and they have now not only beaten the shit
They're
teams, the
ranked. They're
AAC.
ranked.
Yeah, now they're ranked 25. So how I
Yeah,
feel like
true.
they have
Well,
like
again, I think it's been proven time and time again. AP poll doesn't mean shit in the tournament, but in saying that they've beat FAU, they beat SMU. And I mean, and that SMU game wasn't close. Like they beat the crap out of them. I don't know if you leave them out of the tournament. I almost feel like you're doing a disservice.
They also
To
beat Memphis at Memphis when Memphis was number 10.
yeah,
It doesn't matter though when they were number 10. I mean,
but
I mean,
still winning at Memphis is a quad
brother,
one win.
Memphis
So
is
we can't.
still.
it's a good win.
Yeah,
I agree, but
I mean,
but
also USF is winning the American right now by 3 games in the regular
but let's
season.
talk about some of their out of conference losses. They lost at home to Maine. They lost at Hofstra. They lost at home to Central Michigan. They lost at UMass.
whack. Those whack losses.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
know that.
but
I
but
don't
when
think I've ever
conference play
seen it.
starts, I mean, their one loss is at UAB.
If they make it to the finals and lose, I think they could be a last four team in. But if
If
they
I
don't
don't,
make the finals and they just lose in one of the random conference routes, or if they lose another game this season in the regular season,
dude,
and
they
So
are
then
they have
14-1 in the American right now.
so they have one more tough game. They their next game is at Charlotte, who was hanging around for first place in that conference for a while.
Yeah,
Then they
Charlotte
get
is
Tulane and Tulsa. But yeah, at Charlotte
those
will
are
be
not
tough.
easy games. Tulane and Tulsa are not that bad.
I think they have
Not
Tulsa's
good.
combined
5-10 in
8 wins.
conference, and Tulane is 4-10 in conference.
Oh, fair.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
not a
Neither of
ball
them.
knower like that, I guess.
Well, Tulane's the same Tulane. They score a ton of points and they play zero defense.
Yeah, and USF is undefeated versus teams ranked this year.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, 2-0.
Okay, to be fair, Tulane's on a bad streak right now. They're on a 4 game losing streak. Before that, they really weren't that bad.
Dude,
Still
I
four
don't.
and six.
I think if USF wins the American regular season by 2 games or more, I think they should get an at-large because that's not an
They
easy
probably should.
basketball conference.
No.
I don't think
No.
so. I think if they do that and make the conference final, then yes. But they got to do more than just beat Tulane and Tulsa in the last 2 games of the year. To
At
me,
Charlotte. At Charlotte
well,
would be
I'm
another
sorry.
quad one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I just don't. I don't know if they get like upset by some crappy team. I just don't know if like looking at those losses, how a committee could be like, oh yeah, let's put this 7 loss team and who. I mean, what is their best win? I mean, FAU obviously.
at
At
Memphis.
Memphis.
I mean, how good of a win is that though?
Dude, I mean,
Quad
It's
are
a
one.
we
good
forgetting
win,
what Memphis did at that point of the season?
but what does that matter? Tulane beat Memphis.
Yes, but you were talking about teams being on streaks. But at the beginning of the season, Memphis went and beat Arkansas. They went and beat Clemson, Virginia. I mean, they
It's not
had
a terrible. It's not a terrible win, or it's not. Sorry, what I mean to say is it's not a
Memphis
terrible.
also just beat FAU too. I mean, that was a big time.
Um, I will be retracting my previous statement. USF not only does not have a single quad one win, they have not played a single quad one game according to the net
At
rankings.
Memphis when they were number
Nope,
10.
doesn't matter. They're 83 now. It has
So
to be on
so
the
so
road.
the,
It's against the top 75. So they are 0
so
and 5
quad
in
one.
quad one. Or sorry, 0 and 0 in quad one and 5 and 3 in quad two.
So the quad one wins change throughout the year.
They do.
As they
The
should.
quad
I don't
one
know
will change.
why. What like I don't know why
Their current net ranking is 84, which would be the lowest to ever make the tournament.
USF is 84.
Yeah. They have an uphill battle. I really thought that they would have had at least one quad one win. They also have 2 quad 4 losses. But by the way, so does FAU.
I
And
thought FAU had
people don't
3.
Bryant and FGCU, I think, are the only 2 for
I thought they
FAU.
had. Didn't they lose to Mercer too?
I don't think so. They have 2, 7 and 2. And FAU only needs to go up 7 more spots in the net rankings, and then that'll be a quad one win for USF again.
I guess my point is what is it that, like,
FCC almost has a quad one win.
I know.
like I get the whole, oh, they were good at this time, talk whatever. Like, yeah, streaks can definitely impact that, but like I just don't like in the NFL, right? Like whenever the Vikings were on that like 5 or 6 game win streak with Dobbs at the helm, and I didn't think they didn't even have Justin Jefferson for that streak. Like the team that beat them and broke that streak, I don't know who it was, but like does that necessarily mean they beat a phenomenal team? I mean,
I
the
know who it
Vikings
was.
ended 7-10.
I know who it
Well,
was.
all right. Let me pose a question to you. Which team do you think is seen in a more positive light in terms of the bracketologist predictions and what the committee would do? Wake Forest or South Carolina?
Probably Wake Forest.
This should be a very
I
easy
would say
question.
South
I'd
Carolina.
say South Carolina.
Well, I would say that too, but Dante's obviously asking the question for a reason.
Wake Forest is 23 spots ahead of them in the net rankings.
Exactly.
Okay, but
But
I don't know Wake Forest like that. Like I haven't really followed them too
they're
much.
people. The common consensus with them is that beating Duke just put them in the tournament, and they're still a last four in or last four buys team.
hmm
Whereas South Carolina is commonly projected to be about a 6 seed.
But the net rankings would say that Wake Forest
The
is a
net
better team.
rankings say the net rankings say Wake Forest is the 25th best team in the country, and South Carolina is the 48th best team in the country.
I can't see how
I
that's
almost,
possible.
I feel like they're starting to try to bring in some more metrics than the net, so we might see something crazy like that happen this year.
I
With
mean, yeah,
USF.
that sounds kind of insane. I mean, their only win aside from Duke. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They beat Virginia. That's a good win.
So
It's really
they
it.
are
Oh,
they're one
Florida. They
in
beat
four.
Florida.
They're 1-4 in quad one, and their only quad one win. Where's Florida? Florida's 31. That's why their only quad one win is Duke's. That was their first quad one win. They have no losses outside of the top two quadrants, which some of these other bubble teams
No, their
can't say.
losses are pretty good. I mean, they're not great teams like some of them, but they're not bad.
Yeah, I think Florida's interesting. So Florida is 31st in the net. They have 0 losses outside of the first quadrant, in which they are 4-8.
And they have the best center in college basketball.
They have the best defensive center in college basketball. We'll wholeheartedly agree with that. Listen, my Gator roots, I still like Florida, and I think their offense is ridiculous. But like Kentucky, if they don't learn to play some defense, the second weekend is their absolute ceiling.
Well, I feel like that's what we're saying about every single SEC team this year.
Not Tennessee. Tennessee plays defense. Maybe all the other ones. I don't like Alabama in the tournament ever because their entire team relies on shooting the 3-point ball.
Yeah,
Every
but that
year.
can bring you places. You know what? I can think of another sharpshooting team that made it to the Final Four. Auburn.
No, but that Auburn team was playing. So fun fact, that year I actually picked Auburn to make the Final Four in a bracket that had North Carolina, Kansas, and someone else in it. Like they called it the Blue Bloods bracket, and like 99% of the people on ESPN picked one of the top 3 teams to make it. I was not one of them. I picked Auburn. They made the Final Four. I think calling them just a sharpshooting team would be awfully disrespectful to Auburn.
Team that was just a sharpshooting team was the Texas Tech team that lost in the national championship.
They also had a very similar.
Team
that I'll give you.
Threes.
Yes, that I do agree with. I'm
I
trying
just
to
thought
find,
about it. I just thought about it. But yes, Tennessee does have a good defense.
Yeah, they always do. And the difference between this Tennessee team and the other ones is they actually have a guy that averages more than like 11 points per game this year, which for them is like
That's
maybe
that
the
little
best
point
player.
guard, right? That little Italian guy.
No. So Vescovi, he actually averages like 7. It's Dalton Connect.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Transfer from
Connect's
Northern
nasty.
Colorado, by the way, Michael.
Yeah, he's nasty.
He's good.
The GOAT.
Zakai Ziegler is really he's started actually playing really good. That team is scary. How do I go back? I need to find the 2019 Ken Palm.
You mentioned UMass a while ago. Did we see that they're joining the MAC?
Yeah.
Yes.
The MAC needs to
Yes.
add Western Kentucky and Middle Tennessee also. Save them.
Action just got a little bit better.
Simply put, all of
save
the
those
games
two
on
schools
Tuesday and Wednesday.
Save them from the poverty of Conference USA and playing on station on Facebook.
By the way, Conference USA basketball for the first time I think in my life is so beyond mid this year. I don't think there's not a single team that I would pick to even fathom in any sort of chaos in March Madness. I think they're all just so mediocre.
Yep.
And will only get higher than a 15 seed because it's the Conference USA.
That's an FCS conference now.
I think this is going to be the year of defensive efficiency in college basketball. I think the slow pace. Yeah, I mean Houston and
I'm on the Iowa State train.
Yeah, Iowa State. That's why I think Tennessee has such a good chance to go far too, is just because of their ability to do both. Kansas has a good defense. I don't think they're like super high. Hold on, let me have it up here. Kansas is like top 30 in defensive efficiency, but I do still really like them if they can figure out how to play on the road.
So there are 4 teams that are top 20 in both offensive and defensive efficiency on KenPom. Houston, Connecticut, Arizona, and Auburn. Tennessee and Auburn. Tennessee and Purdue are both top. They're both number 2 in. So Purdue's number 2 in offense and Tennessee's number 2 in defense, and they're number 21 in the other one. So they're right there. One good game, they'll be in it.
It's interesting. What other sports do we have to talk about? I mean,
well, last thing for college basketball, I just wanted to touch on the Wake Forest incident of the court storming.
Yes.
Oh yeah. So who came out and said immediately that the guy? I thought I saw something. He tore his ACL, but now I've seen he's not
It's
even
like a
getting any
sprain.
imaging. Yeah.
Because then I saw it both ways, where it's like, they went really early on that. Like I don't think the clock expired yet before they were.
So the biggest mistake was by Duke's head coach. You call a timeout, you're down 4 with 1 second left. You take your fucking starters out of the game and get them on the bench, so that way that does not happen.
Mm-hmm.
When that game's over, you call a timeout. You know they're going to storm the court. FAU did it against FGCU. FGCU was up by 4 points. They took their starters out because they knew FGCU's 30 students that they had in the student section were going to storm the court. But, that's why you get your kids out of the way. Same shit with Caitlin Clark, but it's going to ruin.
Is that what who was the team that lost to Detroit Mercy? Did they make sure to get their starters out?
They had one fan.
That one fan was going to cause havoc.
He was going.
Oh, he was partying. He was partying hard.
Was it IUPUI? Was that who they lost to?
Yes.
That's what it be, yeah.
But yeah, I saw people complaining where it's like, oh, well, maybe if you didn't try to trip fans. If you're storming the court, these players have all the rights to assault you. To
whoa, that's crazy.
They start punching them. Like it's your risk.
Yeah, then we turn into Isaiah Stewart and get them all arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about all that, but I mean, sure.
Duke doesn't move me with painted fingernails boy at point guard. They do not move me at all.
Wait, who?
Jared McCain.
Oh, no, they stink. Another year of puke.
North Carolina doesn't move me either.
Thank you.
That brother Baycott needs to hit the LinkedIn portal sometime soon.
a good one. I'll have to use that. I'll have to use that for Lad McConkey in the future.
No, it's funny. It's like when dudes that have been in college for like 8 years are like, "Oh, I'm entering the transfer portal." Everybody in their comments is like, "No, you need to hit the LinkedIn portal."
It's a good one.
All right, yeah, we can move on to the next one. I wanted to talk a little bit about hockey. Because I know Dante, last week you asked the question if I would take Connor McDavid to pass McKinnon. And I think Kucherov took disrespect to that, because now he's leading.
No. Check the clip. I said the lead.
Oh,
I said to lead the league.
yeah, but now Kuch is leading the league.
No, yeah, I don't. If I singled out anyone, I don't really remember. I don't remember
Oh,
that.
okay.
That would be my bad. I just meant to. I just meant to lead the league in points.
Mhm. Well, I know specifically I said he was 12 behind McKinnon. Would he catch? I was thinking, okay, you mean like he would catch McKinnon. Because dude's on
Oh,
a tear. First one to hit 100. Um, I thought that was
so
pretty crazy.
I saw they were comparing him to the Taylor Hall MVP year, where Taylor Hall, the reason why he won it, and a lot of people said that he absolutely deserved it, was because he had 40 more points than second place on his team, and somehow dragged them into a playoff spot.
Mhm.
Now, I don't want to say Kucherov is dragging
Yeah.
a dead carcass into the playoffs. It's the Lightning, but like he is like 40 points ahead of second place. So, with the
Mhm.
McKinnon and the McDavid and the Matthews argument, they all have other very legitimate
Yeah.
number one options on their team.
Hmm.
Side
Um,
note: the match just started. By the way,
okay, dang. And then I don't know if you were all watching it. I was watching it for Seth Jones' time on ice. But the Kane comeback to Chicago was actually electric. Like one of the few that'll be a game that I remember for a while now. Especially for the ending. Like just
Script
scripted.
writers went crazy.
Yeah. Did you see that Chris Chelios came in on on a I think it was a Corvette, drove a Corvette onto the ice for his
it was a Cadillac.
Cadillac, like baller move.
That's a Chris Chelios thing to do.
I
Got
think
his
it's a
What was
bit
the
banner up
argument
and
we were
stuff.
having? We were arguing Chris Chelios versus who were we arguing him against?
the other guy.
No, Seabrook. We were
Seabrook.
saying Prime. I'm still going. See, I think Chelios is glorified because of his longevity. I really never think that he, maybe other than a couple of years, was like a truly, truly top of the line elite defenseman. Now I'm young and I didn't really get to watch him play too much, and I know he was obviously again a better defensive defender than an offensive producer, but so is Seabrook. I don't know. I thought Prime Seabrook was honestly underrated and kind of in Keith's shadow. That's just my opinion.
All right. I think we can move on to golf now. Because as a group, we are up. I mean, thousands on golf. They just keep shelling us money. Should we go with Should we go with Peyton last, or should we start with Peyton?
Well, why don't we go with the big first time winner first and let him gloat a little bit.
Well, did Michael win? Michael, you win
That's
mine?
your cue.
No, I suck at golf, but Zhao is gonna recoup all my losses for me right here. She's gonna cook.
Dante, who are you talking about? Because I'm not a first time winner.
Well, okay, I meant you just got into it 2 weeks ago.
And I'm 2 for 2.
2 for 2.
He is 2 for 2.
Beginner's
All I
luck.
remember is your first weekend. All your guys were not looking good, and you're like I'm never betting golf again if someone doesn't get a massive comeback and like I mean like something I've never seen before. Matsuyama rises from the dead, and now he's hooked.
Mhm.
Okay, well then I'll give a couple picks that I like. I like Alex Noren plus
Mhm.
7,000.
Good.
Hasn't played great this year, but he has 2 top 5 finishes at this course
Mhm.
in his career. I like Billy Horschel plus 10,000.
Mhm.
Chesson Hadley, I like him at plus 10,000 as well. So those are the three guys that
Mhm.
I like the most.
Whew, doesn't have mine. I don't know if that's good or bad.
Probably bad. I mean, at this rate.
And another
Well,
thing
like
about
so,
Nolan,
yes, who did I had Badley and I had Novak, and neither of them win. But I like that. I still get a good feeling because what I throw $10 on them, where
so
they do good. Like I'll take a top 10 finish from my guy who was plus 5,000 and a top. Where did Badley finish? I think in the 40s or the 30s at a.
another reason I like Noren a lot, when I was doing my research for this tournament. Um, this course is obviously notoriously very difficult.
Mhm.
Um, so Noren is 138th on the PGA Tour in birdie average, so not good. But he is sixth, first in the field this weekend in bogey avoidance. So that's
Interesting. So
why
he's like the AJ Dillon of golfers, is what I'm hearing.
he just Mr. Reliable.
Mr. Lot does his job.
That's right.
Won't
So
be flashy, but he's not gonna screw up.
I'm actually going to place those now while I can get those odds that I like.
So I do like that on a more difficult course. Um, just like to point out the Florida circuit through the Masters, I think is just the best golf time of the year. I know, obviously PGA championships and whatever. Those are always fun, but the Florida circuit, there's not a single bad course. And they're always fun. With that being said, for this week, I like my favorite bet is Doug Gim. He's been there. He's been there in a lot of these tournaments. And I feel like plus 6,000
God, Max
for a
Homa
guy.
sucks. Sorry, sucks.
No, it's okay. You clearly needed to get that one out. Um, I think Gim is just he's one of the better golfers in this tournament, and there's like 40 people ahead of him. I like his odds for what they are. Um, and then at plus 7,500, where I'm trying to find who I liked at plus 7,500
I can't even
before.
find Alex Noren on here.
Oh, sorry, plus 10,000 Maverick McNeely. He
Mhm.
turned it on at the end of that last tournament. I like him. Wait, who are you looking for?
I found him. They had him listed as Alexander. That's why I couldn't find him.
Yeah, he's plus 5,000.
Yeah.
Can I take the field against Rory McIlroy?
Yes. Well, I mean, that's going to be like minus 2,000 right now, but still, I like the value this week because he's so low, and the next closest guy is plus 2,000.
Yeah,
I just think
there's a
that's
lot of
insane.
really good options.
Um, I'm annoyed. I hate Hard Rock. I was looking on a different website because I couldn't access Hard Rock today, and they just had so much better odds than what's on Hard Rock. So I'm trying to find a more better guy,
A more better
um,
guy.
like
More
better
better.
odds.
Yeah, you can tell this
Um,
guy teaches math.
yeah. So my three I have right now, I want to find an even deeper odds one. Very low odds. I mean, very low in golf sense. I like Matthew Fitzpatrick, or more known as Matt Fitzpatrick, at plus 2,800. Out of those top few guys, he's the one I like the most. I don't like Rory. I don't like Young. I don't like the other. There's a third guy there, Henley. So give me Fitzpatrick from the top guys. My favorite at plus 6,000 is my man Ben Zutihoot. He's been cooking in the first few. I plus 6,000 is not bad for him. He's had three top 25 finishes in five tournaments. So he's due. He came second in the one that rookie won, the first one. So he's been Zudi due. Um,
All right, but considering that's not even how you say his name, just dismal pun. There are a lot of guys at plus 6,000 I like. Van
mhm,
Royen, Olison,
mhm,
and I'm still I don't want to butcher it. It's like Benzowit or something like something along those lines.
mhm.
And whoever I said earlier that for some reason I've already I already seem to have forgotten. Let me go back to the Doug Gim.
Mhm.
I might just put $5 on all the plus 6,000 guys and hope one of them wins because I really like a lot of the value there.
You know
And
how
then
I go ahead.
my last one is going to be Taylor Montgomery at plus 10,000. He has finished top 40 in 4 of his 5 tournaments and did not make the Genesis cut, but 4 out of 5 in the other ones is pretty good.
Yeah.
So I mentioned earlier before we started that I liked Cameron Champ to win the first round. He's plus 15,000 on that. $5 wins 755. And he came out blazing at the Mexico Open. He was cooking in round 1. So I'm placing that immediately.
I wish they were out already, but I do want to look at a lot of the make the cut ones. I may be placing a few at like plus a little over 100 plus. Maybe if anyone's at, I doubt anyone would be at plus 200 to make the cut.
Well, the one guy that was plus 50,000 that I put $1 that you could put $1 on to win 5,000. He might be plus 1,000 to make the cut or
I know, dude. Dude,
way.
Tyler Collette 500,000. That's just so tempting.
I
Yep.
know, I know.
Let me put $90 on that really fast.
There might be a max that is less than $90.
I don't want to click submit and lose my $90 because Hard Rock doesn't let me cash
Oh
it.
my
Now I'm
But
god!
it's
looking, yeah, now I'm looking at
$90
some of the
for
lower ones, like David Lipsky.
450,000.
And I feel like he's been doing good.
He was the one that led in the Mexico Open. He passed Champ on that
Hmm.
first day.
So like that's what's plaguing me is all these guys that were doing well in the Mexico. I see their name again, but they're he's played 5 events and missed 5, so I'm not.
Your boy Novak is plus 15,000.
I saw that.
Man, just get me to Arnold Palmer and Sawgrass, man. That's I yearn for that.
College
Yearn for
baseball's
that.
been fun. Been interesting. Obviously, a lot of upsets in baseball. You know, it happens all the time. Spring.
Kennesaw State beat Clemson 18-1 in Clemson. It's their largest home loss since the 30s, and it
Um,
happened to Kennesaw State.
Spring training's fun. I love watching the prospects play and seeing Miguel Sano back with the Angels, 58 pounds lighter than he was this time last year. He's ready to hit some nukes. So
Well,
So
personally,
it's
I'm going
always
to involve the cock and balls. That's been coming up.
yes.
spring train.
Pro Fanatics jerseys.
What are we doing?
yeah,
What are
those,
we doing here?
what
Well,
did the
I saw.
MLB come out and say? It's the same pants as last
Yeah,
year.
why are you staring at
No
the
one took
pants?
any photos of cock and balls last year in spring training or in the regular season. And definitely not in the postseason.
and those tiny names on the back is horrendous.
So I saw Sandoval. I saw a photo of Patrick Sandoval, and his name is. By the way, his name's not even that long, and the letters are tiny, and they still curved it. But the curve is like a 70-30 curve. It's not even. It's like just a weird looking fit. It goes like
We clip
slanted
that.
and then down much more subtly.
Yeah, where's
clip
Jared
it.
Saltalamacchia when we need him?
Just really bad all around by Fanatics.
I am terrified for the NHL to adopt
Yeah.
Fanatics next year. I'm terrified.
Yeah. Some of those long names.
Did you see? They released more. I don't know if this was in a real place. I saw it on Twitter. They released more of the Stadium Series jerseys for the Devils, and they were in a store somewhere. But the nameplate said Jack Hughes.
First and
Like
last
it
name?
was an Adidas jersey, like full, like real Adidas jersey, and it said Jack Hughes on the back.
Just really dumb. Again, what are we doing? Um, more spring training news that's made me very happy. Junior Caminero 3-run bomb, not off of a scrub, by the way, off of Sionel Perez, who was a borderline elite relief pitcher last year. Peyton Keegan only wants he's too excited about Nelson Rada singling to focus on what really matters.
Nelson Rada, but he also stole 2 bases today. He was 2 for 2 and
That's
got.
true. And again, I agree with you. No, more Nelson Rada propaganda needs to be
I mean, Dude, if we're talking about
But-
spring training, then Joe Adele is the best baseball player of all time. Come on.
No, I get it, but we need something to talk about. And we're not talking about guys that year in, year out dominate spring training. We're talking about prospects.
The best player for the Rays is the Tigers outfield.
Which, oh my, yeah, that's what we need to talk about. How does a shortstop accidentally kick a ball to the wall?
It
That's got to
happened.
be the
It
craziest
happened
baseball play I've ever seen.
in a high school game of mine. We were playing like one of our rivals actually, and there was a pop-up hit like that in no man's land, and the shortstop was like running out to catch it. And he like couldn't get back far enough with his glove, like over the shoulder like that. But the ball bounced, and while he was still running, it hit off his foot and rolled to our wall for an inside the park home run.
Yeah, that's just like I feel like very few instances of that ever, if any, in the MLB. That's just good. It's not the fact that he kicked it; it's the fact he basically bicycle kicked it.
Yeah.
I don't know this. I don't want this to be a dumb question, me not a baseball knower, but like, is there a way that you could like if you're better at baseball, are you less likely to break your bat?
No.
No,
Because
if
when I went to
Mariano
the
Rivera is throwing you cutters, you're equally as likely to break your
like
bat, no matter who
when
you
I
are.
went to the Twins Gophers one, the Gophers broke four bats. Like three in one inning, they broke three bats back to
Because
back
the
to
Twins
back.
pitchers are better.
But like, so what did that matter with the bat though? Like that's what
Because
I
if
was thinking. Like,
your pitches are moving and hitting the weak parts of the bat, they break more often.
Yeah, so I mean, I
well,
guess
they
I
got a
guess by
double off
saying
one.
that, you are saying if you're worse at baseball, you're probably more likely to break your back because you're not going to get the sweet spot.
Mm.
I think it also depends on your plate discipline. Like, if you have good plate discipline, you're not swinging at many bad pitches, you're probably not going to, get it off the weird part of the bat as often as someone who swings at everything.
Well, and also those kids are used to swinging metal too, so it's a lot more.
That's what I thought. So I didn't know if that was another question I was going to ask. If it's the same, because I know like when you're younger, I had a
No,
metal
they
bat.
should let the MLB just bring out metal bats and see how many people die in one season.
I want to see a low outside fastball to Shohei Ohtani just get hit right back up the middle at like
No, no,
140 miles an hour.
Giancarlo Stanton.
And then we
Oh yeah,
probably, if we're bringing back metal bats, we wouldn't have a problem with these Fanatics jerseys if they took roids again, because then their
No, if we're
their
bringing
balls
back
wouldn't be
metal
showing.
bats, they need to bring back Beezer instead of BB Core. So, obviously, Ryan, that probably just sounded like I was speaking Egyptian to you. So, BB Core is like the standard of like trampoline that can be inside metal bats. And before BB Core, it was called Beezer. And Beezer actually got a couple kids in college and like high school killed because the ball was coming off so hard and like hitting the pitchers in the head and stuff. But yeah, you could totally tell a difference. In the college home run derbies, they let them swing Beezers and they hit the ball like 40 or 50 feet further every swing.
I'm honestly all for. Again, I think the goal of sports should be let athletes reach their highest level of peak athleticism that they possibly can and see what happens. I want to see Giancarlo Stanton hit a 550-foot homer. All I
Mickey
hear is some
Mantle did it.
stupid story about how Mickey Mantle did it. I want to see it in person.
Dude, let Giancarlo Stanton get a Beezer in Coors Field. That ball might
Would
go
be
600 feet.
would be way too fun. Someone's car is getting some severe damage out in the
If
parking lot.
Nolan Jones went 505 last year with a wood bat.
Yeah, Stanton could do that. Last thing I want to touch on in baseball: why are the Orioles going so try hard? Did you see the lineup that they put out their first spring? It was literally their entire starting lineup.
I saw the Angels. The Angels' first spring training game, aside from pitcher, was like Moniak, Shanuel, Trout, Rendon, Ohapi, Drury, Neto. Like it was all
Yeah,
that.
I give the Angels more of a pass because A, I don't hate them, and B, because they have a lot of new faces. The Orioles are running out like their whole like Mullins leading off and Adley Rutschman hitting second, and they still lost, I think. It was 4-4 late. I don't remember.
They hit a walk off against the Red Sox that game, but
Oh, they did. Oh man,
Aaron
we were out partying, and I was really hoping that they lost.
Hicks is certified back.
Yankee fans' nightmares everywhere at that
He is
stadium.
3 for 3 with the Angels with a single, double, and triple, and he also gunned a man out of home from right field.
Yankee fans
Am I
sweating.
am I the only person here who thought the Clippers was like a barbershop thing?
Dude, that logo is trash.
It's really goofy.
It's kind of stupid.
I don't know why. I thought there was like I don't know what I thought a Clipper was, but it was not nautical themed at all.
Yeah,
I mean, we're not. I don't know about you. I don't really. I didn't really have it in my agenda to research where the Clippers came from, but yeah, I guess if you put a gun to my head and said, "Who are the Clippers?" I said probably a bunch of barbers in LA.
Yeah, I guess it was something with like something with boats about how they like clip over the water or something about like San Diego had a lot of pirate ships or some shit like that. I don't know.
yeah, that's stupid.
All right. Well, I think do we want to do a band list? Does anyone have any bands, any mortal locks? Oh, Dante, what's your mortal lock?
No, I have a band.
Okay.
My band list is betting on America East basketball. That conference is a hellhole for betting. UMBC will do the opposite of what you think every single game. They cost me a parlay. New Hampshire cost me a parlay. UMBC had no even decent road wins the whole year. They beat like all the worst teams. Their best road win was Binghamton. New Hampshire is a formidable team.
Who I took Binghamton and UMBC ruined my parlay.
Yeah, and they screwed you. Now New Hampshire again, they're a solid team. They didn't just lose; they were down by like 30 at halftime. It wasn't even a game. What are we?
Pulled a parlay for me too.
Yeah, I feel like every time I bet on an America East game, if it's the two highest scoring teams in the league, the final score will be 65-60. If it's the two lowest scoring teams in the league, it'll be 90 to 80. And if UMBC is playing New Hampshire on the road, and it looks like all the signs are there for New Hampshire to win, UMBC won't just win; they'll maul them. So America East, I'm never touching one of your games again.
My mortal lock is gonna be sorry, not Knicks. Pistons plus 11 and a half. As of filming this, it is 7:28, so it starts in 2 minutes. But I think the Knicks are on an 11-game win streak against the Pistons. Pistons are due. I don't think they're going to win because they suck, but I think that they might keep it close.
I like it.
Yeah, I do not have any. I don't think I lost badly this week, so I have no band lists. Haven't looked forward, no mortal locks, except Ben Zudihoot. Ben Zudihoot plus 6,000.
My mortal lock is me slamming my entire plate of hibachi in about an hour.
Sounds good. My mortal lock is going to be making just some bomb chicken parm here in about 10 minutes.
Mortal lock over 2.5 buckets. Actually, Dante, you want to go for 3.5 buckets at the spring training game this
I
Saturday?
was almost going to say that doesn't sound food related, but that honestly sounds better. I can't wait to slam Twins buckets at spring training this week.
All
Hey, you
right,
want to
well,
come?
wait, no, yeah. Peyton, well, I'll probably have a ticket, but no, Peyton, or are you busy?
For
Whatever.
what?
Talk about that later. Spring training, buckets.
Oh,
All
maybe
right.
on a.
Well,
Hit us with
good
the outro,
podcast,
Peyton.
boys. Good
All right,
pod.
let's keep the takes twisted.
All right. See y'all next time.